Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, man. I hope everyone is doing well tonight, man. I hope you guys had a great Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Hope everyone is wearing their mask, staying safe. Hope your family is safe. I see they're about to start lifting these rules up. But like I told y'all, man, don't be the fools to go out there and just jump into it thinking everything is all good, because it's not. But like I said, I'm no doctor. I'm just trying to help my family and friends out to stay your butts in the house. Tonight, I got my boy, my brother, my older brother from 900 Global. Man, guy, I'm glad to have him on my team to be part of 900 Global. And guys, I know y'all know him because he's from here. He's a Cali baby, Southern Cal. So, man, get your questions ready, man, because we're about to put my boy, Mr. Robert Smith on the hot seat. I hope y'all ready. I'm gonna bring him to the screen. Robbie Rahab, what's cracking, bro?
Brandon, how you doing, brother?
Man, dude, I'm making it, man. I'm enjoying the Cali weather.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. I don't think we've had a cloud in the sky for the last few days. So
no, not at all. Hey, this, like I said, just nice sun and everything else, man. But talk to me, man. How's everything?
Good. As good as it's gonna get. You can't do much, but it's been nice. Free time, kind of been remodeling the pro shop up here at Buena Lane. So that's been a nice little month project that we finally finished up. And then otherwise from that, just walking the dogs and cooking and just kind of staying at home. Not really much else to do.
Well, you can't do it. There's nothing much to do.
No, video games, Golf Club 2019 for PS4, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, I don't know. See it? I don't know if you know see it.
Who was that again?
See it. Do you know see it, Bluford?
Bluford. No, I don't. I might. I don't know.
But look, there's Maximum Bob.
LC. I'm trying to think of an LC. Where's he from?
Oakland.
Oakland. Okay.
And then your buddy said he needs an autograph.
Oh God, labor response. I do owe him one. I supposedly sent one, and then when they opened the box, my autograph got smeared. So, yes, Anthony, I owe you one.
See, there you go. And then my boy Steve Villanueva from Vegas.
Steve, go stop.
Man, but no, dude. Hey, Robert Smith. Hey, guys, everybody that's watching, hit that share button. Let's get everybody to sit here and watch Rob and shoot Rob some questions. Dude, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just a little, because I know it's a lot.
A little bit. Let's see. I was born and raised Simi Valley, California. Parents, grandparents, uncles, everybody bowled. So I started bowling. First league was about 6 years old, and then I can remember my first two games were a 19 and a 28. No bumpers back then, so yeah, take it for what it was. I'm just graduated Royal High School out here, went to San Diego State for a little bit, and then pretty much had a bowling career by the time 1992 rolled around when I was 18, and it just ran.
Okay. Let's see, man. We're going to say, I know you were previously married, but that ended. What's your current status now, and how's your
I'm married again to my wonderful wife, Sherry. We are going to be 4 years coming up in June.
Oh, you have to ask, huh?
Maybe I'm mad on my math now all of a sudden. No, but yeah, we do have an anniversary coming up next month. Yeah, so Sherry, she has two daughters on her side of the family, which is Courtney and Sydney, and then I have my daughter on mine, which is Kayla. Kayla's 22. Courtney and Sydney are 16 and 13, respectively.
Okay.
Got two dogs down here, so if you do see some hair flying, that's Moose and Mocha, my corgis.
It's all good, bro. So a family of all girls, you the only guy, huh? Oh boy.
Outside of Moose the corgi, yes. He's the only other one there that I can talk to and stand up when we need to have a conversation. So,
man, hey, so here we go. Hey, shoot your questions, guys. Like I said, I'm sure Rob will love to answer whatever you throw his way. But I'm gonna shoot the question. Hey, being from SoCal, what leagues did you bowl in to prepare yourself for the PBA, and what local tournaments did you win?
As far as preparing for the PBA, I mean, the best route that I had was JAT, hands down. Hands down, that was the best route. During my time, we didn't really bowl for scholarship money, unfortunately, but for what it was it was the best. I mean, at the time, it was 22 and under, and there were some players that I bowled against back in the day. I mean, we go, David Yamaguchi, he bowled in it during that time. Ed Neville, Frank Flores, Larry Campbell. I mean, I can go through everybody as far as the guys that I kind of looked up to growing up in JAT, because they were one older than me, and when I started, I was like 14 or so.
Right.
But JAT was definitely the best route. The route I jumped to after JATs was amateur bowling, which at that time was high rollers, eliminators, super hoinkies. And then you could still bowl for Team USA. So the Team USA trials and things like that, it was just graduating steps. I mean, PBA was always in the cards a little bit, but at that time too, amateur bowling, there was a lot more money, and I wouldn't say a lot more money, but I would say the money was definitely easier as an amateur to make enough money to live on versus going out and butting heads with the best and bowling for about the same amount of money.
Right. Hey, can you tell everyone what your rev rate was on tour?
Normally it was probably about 550. Normally I could get it up to about 715 if I was just whining on it and didn't care where it went. And the hardest part was backing it down. I couldn't back it down under 450 to save my life. So wow. I was pretty much stuck with what it was. So, but yeah, on the whole, 550, if I wanted to nail on it with still some sort of control, I could push 6. But I usually, if I had to resort to that, it was a game or two and just hopefully be done with the day, and I don't have to keep bowling that way.
Okay. Hey, can you tell everyone the name of your trophies?
The name of my trophies?
Yes.
Is she talking about the PBA wins, or like all 5 that I got for winning Japan Cup one year? I got 5 trophies for winning. That was unusual.
I don't know.
But, yeah, I can name my 7 titles. U.S. Open. Then there was the Empire State Open in Latham, Erie, Pennsylvania, Omaha, Tucson, and Chicago. Those were the 7.
Hey, you see your buddy here, Mason Sherman, said, "The hell is on your face, Rob? You need a waxing."
Don't be jealous just because I finally got more hair down here than you have up here, Mason. Don't worry about that.
Hey, tell us about the 6 gamers at Holiday Bowl.
Oh my God, that was forever ago. Were those the ones when I was 16 and not supposed to be bowling them, or was that later on down the road?
Hey,
some crazy ones there. I mean, biggest thing I remember when I was bowling down there at Holiday and stuff, it was Sunny Dew. Sunny Dew. I mean, the older cats, if they know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about Sunny Dew, I mean, that's the one character I remember from that bowling center. Just not necessarily. I mean, the guy was a good bowler, but I mean, some of the stuff that went on that involved him was just nuts. So for whatever reason, that's what sticks in my head with Holiday.
Hey, Dewan Clark asked, "How is your mom and family?"
Dewan, how are you doing, sir? Mom and dad are good, actually. They just kind of dropped a little bomb on me and said they're moving up to Oregon last week. So that's what they're doing. So they're retired and good, though. But I will let them know that you said hi, Dewan. Absolutely.
Hey, let's see. Have you ever bowled the Harry Grant?
I know of it. Wasn't old enough.
Hmm.
Wasn't old enough. Yeah, I think the year I turned adult, I think it was the year that they stopped it.
Okay. Kenny Rogers from Detroit said, "When you come to Detroit, you, him, and Sibo have to get around in."
Oh, yeah, we got to get around to golfing. Absolutely. I got too many people I know apparently on here. This is what I'm starting to realize.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows. Hey, everybody knows Maximum Bob, right?
Yeah, I had some good people that I met across the country and pretty much across the world too. So, I mean, A lot of good friends, a lot of good people, and once in a while it's good to see some names and stuff that I do remember.
Oh yeah. Oh, you called. I guess Kimberly Skywalker said you call your trophy about who you beat.
Oh, who I beat? Oh, um, it's sad. I do know those two. Walter twice. That was in Erie and Tucson. Jason Couch in Albany. Oh, dogs, go for it. Watch out. Chicago was Brad Angelo. Omaha was Michael Machuga. And Japan was Chris Barnes.
Oh, okay. Hey, what is your favorite?
Oh, and the U.S. Open was Norm Duke. I can't forget that guy.
No, you cannot forget
that.
Cannot
forget that guy.
No. Hey, Mason Sherman said, what is your favorite PBA Hawaii regional story?
It's probably not the one he's hoping for, but I'm not. I don't know. I got too many of there. I'm passing on that one, Mason.
Let's see. Did you bowl JAT at Regal Lanes?
Yes. Yeah, Boulder Regal, that big old monstrosity 72-lane center.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was big.
Hey, in tournaments, do you prefer longer formats like 10 or more games or shorter ones?
Oh, more games the better. Absolutely. More games the better. Percentages are going to go to the better bowlers. So to me, the more games involved, absolutely. I may not be hot enough to bowl good over a 5-6 game sprint, but you start running more games, it's a lot more advantageous for the better players. So I prefer the long ones.
Okay. Hey, how about those 6 gamers at Kona Lane?
Oh, Sunday nighters. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, those were late night fiascos walking out of Kona at 1 a.m. on a Monday morning. Yeah, I hit up In and Out from the drive from Kona back to Simi Valley during those days. Wow. That was there was a lot to bowl back in the day, I tell you. A lot to bowl.
Yeah, see, and I wasn't big in bowling, so I couldn't tell you.
What's my favorite ball in my bag right now?
Yep, what's your favorite?
That's the only way it works.
Wait, you said your spare ball?
No, actually, the one that there's two that I've been thoroughly impressed with, and I throw the hell out of them both. One is that volatility. I don't know why. Thing's aggressive. It grabs. It hooks. It looks like it slows down on the back end, but you know what it's going to do every time. If you need the ball to get down the lane a little bit, that's not the right ball. But if you can throw that one, that thing reads beautifully. The second one, honestly, right now is the Green Volt. That Green Volt's got a little bit of bite in the back end. So for me, those two are good.
Hey, Andre Round said, how good was your run at Del Rio Lane, and what was your favorite team?
Oh, no, Andre, you tell us.
That part right there.
No, that was okay. So Del Rio. So there were two, Del Rio and Keystone at that time. So there was the Whitlock Vending and the Hadley Toe. Now during that time, I was either traveling across, out in Southeast Asia or just started a tour or whatever. But me, Andre, and Royale Miles were pretty much, and Jeff Hickenbottom, Vernon Davis, not Vernon Davis, Vernon Adams. Sorry about that. Taking football there. Vernon Adams, Jeff Hickenbottom. And Andre and Royale would always be bowling. They had to stay on because they were the two lower averages on our cap team, which was 810 at the time. Right. So the rest of us would float around because we all fit. Well, it ends up being I only show up basically for the third and fourth round during the league. Well, the lanes are garbage on the third round, fourth rounds, whatever. I keep averaging 203. That's my book going into this league every year. So I'm just a steal. Kinsler can't even say nothing about it because he can't say nothing about it. It's what I'm averaging. But so us three, and then Jim Hamrick, we bowled there. We bowled at Keystone. Each league paid $28,000 and $32,000 on top for a 4-man team. And if I remember right, we won 4 out of the 10 chances we had in 5 years. If I remember right, we won 4 of the 10 chances.
Okay.
It was worth the hour and 15-minute drive each way to go bowl league with those guys.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, which title is your most memorable and why?
Oh, U.S. Open. First one, major, Norm, way too much drama at the end of that match. I had him, gave it back, and got lucky. But hands down, U.S. Open.
Okay. Hey, Gail Rogers, how many pro shops are you currently running?
Just one up here at Buena Lanes. You guys want to check out Buena Lanes, go to the website there and give a phone call, or find me on Facebook, and I'll get back and post all the information on there when I get a chance.
There you go. Hey, how's the two-handed game coming along?
Oh, up until we stopped bowling, probably good. I'm taking a break because I still don't get it quite right yet. It's close, but there's a lot of mechanics that I keep messing up on. So, but it's fun. I'll tell you what, the back doesn't hurt, so at least I get the bowl. I know there's guys out there that are purists, and they know who I'm talking about. And it was one of two things. It was either I stop bowling and then try to run a pro shop, or do I go and just say, okay, try something different. I mean, the worst thing that happens is I suck. Okay, so what? Big deal. At least I get the bowl. So it was worth it. And it's been fun. It's been frustrating as hell, but it's been fun.
There you go. Hey, which is considered to be your strong point? Mental, physical, or knowledgeable part of your game?
Ooh. Relative to the PBA guys, I'm going to say definitely my physical. Just because at that time I could create angles and speeds that they couldn't generate. So when it popped up and gave me that little advantage, I took it. So based on them, yes. But, from start of tour to the end of tour, you're looking at more of, you start getting smarter as you go along. I mean, I bowled, it was my third year on tour before I won.
Right.
I didn't walk in there and say, okay, I'm going to beat you guys and stuff. It was a learning process. I mean, it was hard enough to get up there consistently. Then when you got there, TV shows, you never got comfortable. And, bowling live shows, it's hard to just sit there and go, okay, you bowl now, you stop, you wait 5 minutes, go now. I mean, you just got to be ready and prepared on it. The first few shows I was on, I tell you what, I was not ready. Nope, not at all.
Hey, what's the number one thing you learned on tour that you still do today?
The number one thing, make your spares. Absolutely make your spares. Surprisingly, and I guess I was a better spare shooter than what most people thought, but I never made the all-miss team back in the day, so I'm happy for that. But no, spare shooting. I mean, the biggest thing I learned was when I went out there first, I would leave 6 and 7 counts every time I missed. I had to learn how to leave 8 and 9 counts when I missed. Right. That was the big difference. I had to learn how to leave better pin count when I didn't strike. Because, out there, 3-4 pins a game, that adds up pretty quick. Oh, yeah. Throwing away 3-4 pins on count, going 6-2 instead of making 8, just throwing pins away because of bad count. So I had to learn it. So, that was the biggest thing, was learning how to leave easier spares. Helped. Helped a lot.
Talk about the PBA tournament you got in trouble for lofting.
Oh, Mason, you're such an instigator. You're so bad. Indianapolis, 1999, I believe, was Randy Peterson's last title. They were still wood lanes with guardian heads. Now, Brandon, do you know what guardian heads are?
No.
Okay. Wood lanes are pretty soft to begin with, right? Like 10 times softer than what synthetics are. So now they put this guardian plastic, this hard plastic sheet over the first 14 feet to the arrows. And this is supposed to protect it from hitting the wood. But the problem is that stuff's even softer than the lane bed itself, which is wood. And this is on the first 15 feet of the lane.
Right.
Back then, they didn't re-oil every squad, so we still had the old school format, which was when we did qualifying on Wednesday, it was 6 games A, 6 games B, the next 6 games A, and then the next 6 games B again. That's 24 games from morning to night, 1 run of oil, go get you some. I'm on B squad, and everybody off of A squad, the 4th game was already into the ball return, and these guys, remember, don't hook it that much. Right. And so, needless to say, by about halfway through the 2nd squad that night, which is about game, 9 or 10 for me, Yeah, I had them come down and pretty much tell me if I didn't stop doing it, they were going to shut the lights off. And yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
Rudy Revs was actually probably more pissed than I was for them coming down and saying that to me, because he was on the next pair over, and I know he was pretty damn hot.
Right.
So, yeah, they threatened to cancel the tournament right on the spot, this and that, if I didn't stop doing it. Well, I mean, at that time, I was like in 12th place at like plus 40. I mean, they were garbage. If I threw the ball too far and I missed the Guardian, I hit the lane bed, the ball would bounce once and take 3 on the left. I did it 4 times in the first 3 games at night, but I was still 30 over somehow. Don't know how I was doing it, just whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, but they threatened to cancel the tournament. So the last 2 games or 3 games, I had to try to throw straight balls, and I shoot like 460 for the last 3. And let's just say the rest of it we don't need to talk about. But that's
And what was one of your best experience as a junior bowler in Southern Cali?
best experience as junior bowler?
Yep.
Oh God, probably 2 things. 2 things. And the first one was definitely getting selected into Greater LA All-Stars, Junior All-Stars back in the day. You know, Tennille Milligan, Missy, it was a big deal to make the Greater LA Junior All-Stars, because you had to average at least, for me, I think back then you had to average at least 190 to even get put into a draft, and then you had to get picked up for. So Larry Lieberman, I thank you for that one. He drafted me that year, and I was 14 to go bowl in the best league in Southern California. So that was pretty cool. And then the second part is Dewan really pushing for me for Chuck Hall. When I got Chuck Hall Star Tomorrow back in 92 or 91, I forget the year. Sorry. But no, Dewan really pushed for that. So that award, which was the National Junior Player of the Year, that was a big honor too. So those would be my 2. Absolutely.
Okay. There you go. Hey, can you tell us about your first PBA tournament at Cal Bowl?
AC Delco, that was right after the earthquake. That was literally like 5 days after the earthquake, and I just turned 20 that week. It took 7 hours to get from Simi to Lakewood and I missed practice session. I left at 6 a.m. I had a practice session at noon, and I missed it.
Wow.
I didn't get there until like 1:30, and, they just said sorry. So I go in there. Well, okay, so back it up. Back in the day, we used to have win a spot so you can get into the tournaments.
Yep.
So amateurs could play and stuff like that. It was $60 win a spot at Cal Bowl. I end up winning the thing, so I get a spot. Grand Bomsock, I believe. Bomsock's a buddy of mine from Korea now. He won the other spot also, so we got the Bowl to Tour stop. Went in and bowled with no practice, had no idea what was going on. I just started bowling, and 6th place after the first squad, 4th after the second. I'm 2nd after the first cut going into match play. I'm in 2nd place. And remember, I'm 20, my second PBA event. And so then I go into match play, and I don't know what happened. I stayed 3rd after that, and then the next day I ran away from everybody, and I led over Norm by about 350 pins, if I remember right.
Oh, wow.
As an amateur. One of those things. I just had something that nobody else had.
Yeah.
Get on to the show. Go on the show. Not even ready for it. It's ABC. It's live. I bowled Norm Duke for the title. Again, remember I was telling you, they tell you bowl now, stop now, this and that. Well, I'm not ready for this. I'm still looking around at the whole set, marveled at it.
Right.
And go out and bowl, and I got spare open, spare. Norm's got the front 5. They tell me commercial. I'm like, holy crap, we're bowling. It was just like, it was surreal. It was surreal. But, the atmosphere, the friends that were all in there, Arnold Cheeseman, I talked to him about a month ago, just chatting about that whole deal. It was pretty funny. But, yeah, that was crazy because, that wasn't something that was necessarily expected. It was hoped for, but, you don't go and do it, as a guest.
Right.
So the cool thing was I turned $60 into, oh gosh, it was probably about 38,000 by the time it was said and done. It was just one of those things. I was like, holy crap. So funny story at the end of this, and Mom, I'm throwing you under the bus.
Uh-oh.
So I'm still living at home at the time, of course. So I'm going back to see me. I get done. It's Saturday evening after the show. I get in. I mean, I crash. I mean, boom, I'm out. I barely got out of what I bowled in that day on the show.
Right.
I think I sleep about 18 hours. I mean, I literally sleep like 18 hours. So I wake up, look on the floor, this, that. I can't find my pants. I'm like, Mom, where's my pants? Oh, I'm doing your laundry. I said, okay, that's great. Did you take the check out? What check? The check I got for finishing second. No. Yeah, she washed my $23,000 check in the washing machine. So had to make a drive back down to Cal Bowl, go talk to the manager, get another check out. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So sorry, Mom. Had to throw you under the bus on that one.
Hey, when you're coaching, what is the first thing you're watching for when finding discrepancies?
Yeah, the first thing I'm looking for, honestly, within about 4 shots, I'm going to know if you're looking at a break point or if you're staring at the arrows. I'm going to know in 4 shots. So that's basically what I'm looking for. If, to me, knowing where the ball is trying to get to down lane is much more important than trying to cross at the arrows, because that just controls angle to help control the back end. Right. So that's usually the first thing, because if you're not looking for a spot down lane, it makes it hard to work on anything physically if you're not paying attention to where you're trying to throw to, where the ball hooks. So that's usually what I'm looking for first.
Okay. Hey, can you tell us what was the best team challenge team you were on?
Oh, who put that one up there? Yes. Oh, hands down, it was myself, Tim Mack, Barry Asher, both Hall of Famers.
Yep.
Billy Myers Jr., who was PBA Rookie of the Year, and Mr. Mike Devaney, who I believe had 4 titles by the time he gave up also on it, and myself. And hands down, we were by far the best team challenge team. I mean, some of the New York guys would probably argue and, complain and say, yeah, no. But honestly, between myself, Timmy, Mike, Billy, and Barry, I mean, there was not too much better than that. Not too much better than that.
Hey, who is Casey Beasley, and how did you get connected to him?
Casey Beasley, I just, I saw him at tournaments. So, he was that backer guy, that guy that would show up and he would throw his money on brackets on this guy or this guy or this guy. Remember Casey Beasley, Ben? Casey Beasley, you remember that name? No. Okay. So anyways, get involved with him. And he's been, putting up action on everything. So we go bowl team challenge one year in Vegas, and Casey's got his hands in with a few of us here helping us out, because at that time the team challenge had 100 teams.
Oh, wow.
And it was, it was just like the, okay, I'm drawing a blank. What did we just bowl in Simi?
The team challenge,
CDO.
Oh, Indio.
There we go. Sorry about that. Drew blank. It was that big. I mean, it was 5-man teams that big, and it was everybody from everywhere. So we fire away on the squads and stuff, because at the time, we were the big team, so we fired on it. We got into every bracket, every this, every that, the 3 games in the morning, the 3 games at night, we fire away. We had enough money at the end of that thing where it ended up being Tim had to hold it. I was in front, lead blocking, pushing people out of the way. Billy and Mike were flanked, and Barry looking out in the back on our 6, making sure everybody's okay. We get up into the room. Now Casey's with us on this, and go up into the room at the showboat, throw out the money on the bed. It's $85,000.
What?
Cash. Yep, split amongst us 5. No joke.
Wow.
No joke. Yeah. That's bowling was weird. There was more money on the hustle than there was on anything else sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey. So Casey had that money too. I think we all did a little snow angel in the money there for a minute.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, that's how I met through Casey Beasley. He was always around for side action. He was always around.
Hey, name the toughest pattern you ever bowled on.
Oh, PBA pattern name wise, I'll be honest with you. I hated Scorpion. I thought that was the worst shot ever. I don't know why. Couldn't touch it. Whatever. Otherwise, the worst conditions I've ever bowled on was Southeast Asia in the 90s. Okay. That was garbage. I mean, stripping lanes were optional when they ran the oil machine 13 times during a tournament. Stripping happened, didn't happen. Raised lane beds. Just, and then on top of it, half the fields were spinner bowlers. So you just had all sorts of garbage going on. So, as far as like grind them, tough lanes, Southeast Asia was brutal. But Scorpion pattern.
Dewan Clark asked, what did you do to develop your unbelievable hand?
What did I do? Nothing. It just happened. I don't know. I thankfully had a gentleman, Glenn Schrader, who taught me how to control it. What did you do over there? My wife is making gestures over here just to. Okay, we're gonna let that.
And I can only imagine, because that's the one with the pink bow tie, but we're not even gonna go there yet.
I think it comes down to two things. One is understanding what is needed to make the ball rotate, revolve, spin as it exits the hand. It has to roll down. I treat the bowling ball like a yo-yo, a frisbee, or kind of like throwing a football underhand to make it spiral.
Right.
And make sure the toe's down on the football when you're doing that. But it's that feeling where the ball is actually rolling down the hand and the fingers. It's physically rolling all the way down the hand. That's what I feel. If you go too quick, you don't feel the roll down the hand, you miss that snap, the ball doesn't rev as much and it turns into a miss hit. So that's the premise on what I do with feel-wise with the hand. The rest of it, I tell you what, I don't know, because I see the release, and trust me, what I see and what I feel are not even close. What I feel is much slower in my brain than what I see physically on videos and stuff.
Wow.
That's just something I can't explain that one. The feel, the technique on how to get a ball to rotate and roll better, I understand that. Why I get so damn much, I have no idea. No clue.
Hey,
I spent my whole career trying to take it off. I tried to take the revs away. Who else is trying to take their revs away? Nobody.
Robert Smith.
Maybe Belmo and Simo and stuff. Not too many are trying to lose it. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, any good bowling release advice?
What I just said.
There you go.
If you can feel the ball roll down the hand, you're going to make sure that you're getting the most revolutions, RPMs you can out of that shot. How much you get, it depends physically what you can do, but at least if you've got that technique where the ball's physically rolling down the hand,
right,
you're going to generate the most roll, the most accurate roll too on top of it. And the key word is it's rolling, not flicked or tossed or twisted off your hand. It's physically rolling off the hand now.
And this is why I'm so nervous to bring my butt to Buena, because I know I'm in trouble.
I don't know at all, but I mean, I know a lot. I know some. I've got my own techniques. I mean, back when I bowled, I had some coaches that just said, I don't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, because most of the time they're trying to add more, and here's this one that's got more, and they don't know what to do because they're used to just adding more. Doesn't make sense. So now my best coaches were the ones that taught me control, technique, rhythm, timing, taught me to control what I had. Didn't try to take it away, just taught me to control.
There you go.
Those were my best coaches, hands down.
Okay. Hey, who do you like watching on the PBA tour now?
Right now?
Yep.
Oh, it's a toss-up between Simo and Belmo. I mean, right now, those two are absolutely the most fun to watch. Belmo just for his shot making, and Simonson because, let's be honest, for a two-hander, I haven't seen one have that many tricks in his bag on there where he can control rev rate and tilts as good as he does for two hands. It's pretty impressive. So, right now, for me, both those two are the fun ones.
Okay. Greg Thompson said, can you help him become a winner on the national tour? He'll come visit this summer.
Oh, gosh, GT. Well, we got to bowl first, and then the second thing is I got to get my average over 205 in league two-handed. Otherwise, it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Hey, Tyrone Julian asks, what was the toughest house for you to hit in SoCal?
Oh, Hollywood Star Lanes. Hollywood Star. Nastiest place I ever bowled in. I bowled so many junior tournaments there, never averaged over 190. I don't think anybody averaged over 190, really, but I mean, that place was terrible. Hollywood Star Lanes right there at Santa Monica and Western. Terrible. Terrible.
Man, say it like you really mean it.
Oh, I do. I mean it.
Hey, Sean Butler asks, what is your favorite ball that you've ever thrown and wish you could have back?
Let's see. Global-wise, I would love to have the Bounty Hunter back, which is this nasty black and white thing. I threw it amazing when I was living out in Hong Kong. Love the Bounty Hunters. But as far as all-time and stuff, Storm Eraser Boost. Yeah, that one there. That was a midline ball from Storm back when I made a good run back in the 2000s there. So that would be my one.
Okay. Hey, tell us about your bowling and coaching experience in Japan.
Well, my bowling experience in Japan, that was a blast. Yeah, the head coaching stuff was Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong. Okay.
Hong Kong, and that was crazy because lived out there for 2 years, pretty much by myself, and then the people that came in, which I had about 40 to 50 people that came in weekly, so that was nice for a couple years. But of course, like anything else, if it gets stale, everything kind of drops off. But bowling out there, bowling out there is the same as here. I mean, the lane parameters, everything, it's exactly the same.
Right.
I think the biggest thing you find differently is the competitors or the people you bowl with is their etiquette with how they bowl versus how we are. A little more subdued, a little bit more controlling with their angers and stuff like that. We kind of let our emotions fly a little bit. They don't. Not as much. But with head coaching out there, it was great because, I went out there kind of just, I knew some things. And then when I got done with it, I learned a lot more because everybody's so different. So the trick is finding out what is needed to be learned first that makes everybody common. Visualization, targeting, roll release, things like that. Just trying to find something that's common with everybody. Once you get to that point, everybody's unique and individual. You just got to run with them. Sometimes it might be a timing issue. Sometimes it might be arm swing. It could be, leverage. It could be anything at this point. So a lot of it's just individual based, but trying to find the common stuff. That's the key.
What team did you coach out there?
What was that again?
What team did you coach?
No, it was a private coaching club. Anybody was welcome, but it was just strictly me. It was strictly me. I was not affiliated with the Hong Kong 10-pin Bowling Congress or anything like that. It was just me and Henry Hawaii and Perry Coe out there.
Okay. Here we go. Another question for you from Wanda Parker. Are you a fan of urethane?
Yeah, I hate resin. I learned how to bowl with plastic and urethane. You think I like resin? No, absolutely not. The problem was I had to learn resin in 92, so I was 18. So I had to go with it after that. But the way I learned to bowl was plastic and urethane. And if I could throw those two, I would much rather throw that than the reactives. Much rather.
Hey, so I don't know how true this is. You can tell me. But living in Japan and Hong Kong, I heard you were living like Don Corleone and Tony Montana.
Really? No, when I was living in Hong Kong, though, that was interesting. I lived on the top floor. I lived on the penthouse out there, but apparently the penthouse is where nobody wants to live because it takes too long to get out of the building. So, nobody wants to, so I had the top floor, which was sweet until the lightning storms came through, and I'm just, they're striking right above me, like 10 feet above my head. You want to talk about scaring the hell out of you. But, I walked a lot. I didn't drive for 2 years. That was kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
So I walked a lot. I'd probably get 30, 35 pounds skinnier than I am now. I was then, for sure.
As an elite bowler, are you exceptionally talented in any other sport? If so, which one?
Nah, not really. I mean, I'm decent at everything. Golf. I'm like a 14 handicap, 15 handicap. I don't know. Golf, I was decent. Basketball, I played growing up. I played high school basketball. Um, so I mean, I was decent at that. But I mean, as far as an elite level at any other sport, no, not even close. Just decent at them.
Hey, Mason said, talk about your time living in Hawaii and having a ponytail / man bun.
I didn't have a ponytail or a man bun. It was a helmet. It was a mullet. That thing grew naturally into the probably sweetest looking helmet mold I ever had. You try it once. I got it that far. I figured, it's going to keep growing. And, 4 months it stayed the same. I'm like, okay, this is done. So unfortunately, I made a few shows with the long hair. So now I got to live with grief from Mason.
Hey, have you ever tried the spinning bowling style?
Which one again?
The spinning bowling style.
The Smitty bowling style. What is that?
Spinning.
Oh, spinner.
Yeah.
Oh, the UFO. Oh, geez. Yeah, I know how to do it. I mean, it took a while to learn it, but I know exactly how to do it to get the ball to spin, back up. I do it with 15-pound equipment, so that's probably not correct. I need like 10, 11, 12-pound equipment just to get the ball to deflect more. And there's a lot of physics on that we don't got time to discuss with that. I actually went from being pissed off at them to actually respecting what those guys did because there's a science to it. They were playing math. It was a different math, but it was math. So, but no, I know how to do it. So, yeah, I wouldn't do it more than 3 or 4 shots, and then I won't try it again for like 5-6 months. But yeah.
Okay. Hey, is the action in overseas better there than here in the U.S.?
The only country I found that there was a lot of side action in was Thailand. And Thailand was weird. They didn't really like to bet on the game so much. They liked to bet on the shot. And their 2 biggest things was betting on any big split that was left and, throwing some crazy odds out there and stuff like that. Or they would bet on how many pins were still on the pin deck if you struck. That was a popular bet also.
Really?
Yeah, that was a pretty popular bet. So you just walk up and just even odds, say 2 pins on the deck, 1 pin on the deck, none. And you just betting on luck. It's like the dollar wheel in Vegas. You don't know why you're betting it. You're just doing it. But yeah, that bet was common.
Hey, do you think getting rid of the weight hold is a ploy to slow down the rapid acceleration of bowlers getting better?
No, the bowlers are always going to get better. What it's doing, though, is it's requiring us to have some sort of accountability that the equipment from one person to the other is equal. That's the hard part with where this game is right now, is that the bowling balls are not equal. Not so much in saying that 900 Global to Storm to Rotogrid, they're equal in and of what they offer. But the problem is that they are not equal in of themselves just by the sheer amount and variety that we have. It takes away the athletic part of the game, if you ask me personally, because just from what I see a little bit with how bowling is on tour, I mean, the elite guys are still elite, but on the whole, I don't see a lot of changing on rolls. I don't see a lot of changing on that. It's just change ball until it works. Right. And then don't try to change anything physically. I would rather see it the other way around, where the bowling balls are more constant, and let's see how good you are physically to manipulate and things like that. The game, if you can't afford bowling balls, you're at a disadvantage right now. And I know that's the way the game is, but it's not necessarily am I a fan of. No, not at all.
Hey, look, you see your buddy says, why does Rob look like Triple H?
Well, apparently this is growing a little bit then. All right, not so bad. Could be worse people, I guess.
Look, here, look. Why you keep bringing his pink bow tie up?
I was waiting to see if he was going to say something or not.
Oh, my God.
So, yes, the wife was very nice to make sure she ordered this after that night we talked at Valley Bowl. So this is your pink bow tie that you don't have.
When this is all over, I'll come get my pink bow tie.
There you go. There you go. We'll save that story for another day. But
oh yeah,
yes,
I don't think the FAA and Facebook and everybody else will. I think we'll get shut down from the pink bow tie story.
Oh, no, but yeah, we got this for you next time we get the chance to see each other.
I got you. Hey, how many 300s and 800s do you have in your bowling career?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I had 27 on tour, if that's the number I remember, but otherwise no clue. I know what I had in juniors. I had 6 300s and 5 800s, and I think I had the most 800s in the nation for a while. Oh, but wow. Yeah, that was you start bowling so many tournaments, you're just glad to get 100 pins on the field. You're not really worried, it was a 300 or not. You're like, sweet, I went plus 100. So not to say that the scores, don't matter, but I'll be honest, I don't know. I have no clue. And I bet you I've got half of them that aren't turned in. So I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
How do you remain focused and calm during challenges? Or do you? Do you have a routine? Or are you more of the wing it type?
I'd say I'm definitely more of a wing it type. But when you're talking about during challenges and stuff, if you're not, Barry Asher told me this best. And he said, listen, he goes, if you're not nervous, that means you're not paying attention.
What does that mean?
I was on tour. It was probably like my 9th or 10th show. And I'm talking to Barry. And I'm just like, Barry, I'm still anxious and nervous. And, and that's the line he belts out. He goes, if you're not nervous, that means if you're nervous, at least it knows that, you're paying attention. You're always going to be nervous. It's just, what do you do with it? Some people are scared of it. Some people are not. I mean, I was never really scared of it, but I will say that I probably didn't throw the best quality shots when I needed it at first. And I had to learn to get past these humps, calm down, relax.
Right.
You got to get beat up. You got to get beat up in order to learn something. But yeah, you're never, if you're calm to that stuff, that means you don't care. That's not going to work.
There you go. Hey, how is your experiment with the heavier pins going?
We haven't really bowled on them lately, but everybody kind of knows the gist if you know the story on them. And it's basically, it's my concept on how to control scoring pace easier and more thorough from top to bottom on the whole field versus it being lane conditions. And if somebody gets lined up, their scores go running away from everybody. It's just a different version of scoring difficulty. I mean, I've tried it out with a few of the guys. A lot of them like it. Surprisingly, my lower average bowlers like it more than my upper average bowlers because they don't see as much of a change in average, but the higher average guys definitely do.
Right.
The ones that appreciate the challenge, it's fun. It's fun. And, the one night we actually had 14 guys out bowling on them. We were pretty much louder than the open play going on because we were just heckling each other on the garbage leaves we were leaving. It was fun. Sure. It's fun to know that you shot a 210, you won the side pot, hands down, because you're the only guy over 190.
Well, like I said, I signed up for the tournament. I can't wait till whenever we can get out there and bowl.
Yeah, we'll get Jack. I mean, we're going up the lane. We'll post. We're going to do the whole thing. Just get a nice little eyeball view of what's going on. So,
got you.
What are your thoughts on the new hardness rule for bowling balls? No thought. Don't care.
Hey, do you remember what your team shot? Do you remember what you shot when your team broke the record at Keystone?
Individually, I remember Jim Hamrick shot 775, I believe. I shot, and just so you know, Jim was third on the team that night. 775. I shoot 818. No, yeah, 818. I shoot 818 on second. And Andre Rounds, of course, he brought it up. He shoots 829 or something silly. And poor Royale Miles shoots a lowly 695 with a $190 start. If he shoots 250 that first game, or we get some other breaks and stuff, we actually have a chance to have the highest four-man team series and game of all time. I think we ended up like 5th and 4th at that time for all-time high scores. That was crazy. Yeah, I lost money in brackets that night. I went 329.89, and I lost money because I tied with the 300s, lost with 289s to Andre. Yeah.
So Andre was pretty good, huh?
Andre was good. He could play. He had a nice ball roll. His ball roll reminded me of Pat Healy. That's who he reminded me of when the way he threw the ball. So if you want to dig up old Pat Healy videos, you'll see what I mean. He threw it like that. Soft, smooth, pretty good.
Yeah, he think he's trying to come back now, but he might as well stay on the DJ table.
Yeah, I've seen his Drelo stuff.
Yeah. Hey, what is Carlton? He said, "What is your best win and your worst loss?"
Oh, best wins U.S. Open.
And your worst loss?
Worst loss, jeez. Worst loss for a title was probably the doubles, junior senior doubles in Reno back in 2000. My partner's Bob Glass, and we are bowling Dave Houston and Pete Couture in the title match. And we're leaders. We bowled really good. We're leaders. They come up, we bowl them. Ends up being, I need 3 in the 10th to tie, and I think they posted 234. We were clean going in, and we could post 234. And I go up, strike, and I throw this monstrous messenger in front of the 10 pin, and it bounces back in front of the 10 and just sits there on the deck, and we lose by 1. And that would have been my first title and Bob's first title. Not to say that we would have won in the roll-off, but that was a hard one.
Hey,
and shooting 50 on TV against Patrick Allen. That was terrible.
Hey, how was your experience bowling the All-Star Shootout at Six Flags?
Interesting. Let's just leave it at that. It depends what venue you were talking about, because each one had its own little disaster stories. The one in Chicago area, we had tornado warnings every day 20 miles to the north of where we were at. The wind would gust, and they thought that in May they put flowers all the way around the bowling lanes and stuff. That'd be a good idea. Well, the flowers pollinated, and the wind kicked up, and all the pollen was all over the lanes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So between that, tornado warnings there, that was hilarious. And then St. Louis, it was 97 degrees every day. The sun's straight up here. We're sitting on the RVs and stuff trying to stay cool. They ruined the whole set of lanes there. The lanes got so warped that they couldn't ever use them again.
Oh,
because
wow.
they sat out there for 4 days in that heat. There was no clouds, no nothing. I mean, just.
Yeah, it just murdered it. Yeah, it murdered those lanes.
Oh, and those poor people, all 12 of them that sat out in that metal bleacher in that 97-degree heat to watch bad bowling. It was like, yeah. It was tough.
Kiva said, is there anything you look forward to, award-wise or achievement-wise, in bowling, or do you feel pretty much content or accomplished where you are?
I feel pretty good. I mean, do I wish I still had a chance to go out and qualify for the Hall of Fame and stuff like that? Yeah. That hurt, getting injured that close to the qualifications to do it. I mean, that was a little bittersweet. It took a while to kind of get over that part that it may never happen with the PBA. Just because you need 2 major titles or 10 regular titles to be considered Hall of Fame. So I'm at 1 and 7. I'm not quite there, and I'm kind of stuck in between. So that part kind of hurts a little bit. And it's just, it's not to say that I would have done it, but I mean, I don't have the chance. Didn't have the chance to. So that's probably the only thing I'd wish. Hey,
how do you pick who you bowl with?
How do I pick who I bowl with?
Yeah.
Are there requirements? Because, you know, if you're talking about style, I mean, good Lord, I must not care anything if I bowl with Bobby Campignelli doubles. I mean, so, you know, style doesn't matter. So, okay, so we got that out of the way. No, it's, what do you call it? You know, do you try? You know, when things get a little tough, are you going to sit there and pout and cry about it or figure it out? You know, those are the little things I want to see. You know, there's a lot of good bowlers, but I mean, I want a guy that's, you know, going to sit there, be on it, you know, quality shots to the best of their ability. If they don't throw a good strike ball, get your spare, come back, get back on that horse. Those are the guys I'd like to bowl with. So it's not always the best. You know, it's the ones that you know that'll show up to the best of their ability when you need it. Those are the guys I like to bowl with.
There you go. Hey, what was your most memorable match against Parker Bone?
The one I lost to in El Paso when he went front 10 on me. That one sucked. It was on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, front 10. There you go. No, but that one, there was that one, and then there was one I bowled against Parker at Showboat early in my career. And I was making a run at the show late. There's 2 games left or something. I'm making a run, and I'm bowling Parker, and Parker posts 278. I got a chance to post 269, so I can stay close, but I need to punch. I throw a 2 count against Parker. I remember this 2 count. I go 2-7 on a 6-bagger to turn 269 into 208 or something silly like that. And there went that show. But for whatever reason, I threw a 2 count against Parker.
Wow. Hey, tell us something that no one knows about you.
That nobody knows about me?
Yep. You're on the hot seat now, buddy.
All right. I was just telling Sibo this earlier today. There is, when I bowled the Coca-Cola Nationals in 1988, I believe it was in Tampa, 1988, Nickelodeon was going to televise the show. They were going to record the stepladder for the men's and women's on that show. Mm-hmm. Well, they wanted somebody to co-host with their star that they're going to have do the show. I got the call. I'm 14 years old. I get the call to go down to the studios in Santa Monica to do this recording of the Coca-Cola stepladder finals I bowled in Tampa with the character actor Cletus from Dukes of Hazzard. This is when I was about 14. So that video is out somewhere, but I have never seen it resurface. So that would be something nobody knew about. That I did I co-hosted a bowling show for Nickelodeon when I was 14.
Okay, there you go. Hey, trust and believe, I will find it. And when I do,
well, the cat's out of the bag now, so I'm assuming somebody's going to find it. So,
I'm sure. Hey, look, all these viewers right now, they're probably searching. So just be ready.
Okay, they are. Good luck. I mean, parents have looked. Just can't find it. So who knows? Maybe some others got some pull.
Hey, is there a bowler, past or present, you wish you could bowl one game against?
Oh, my idol, Mark Roth. Mark Roth. Yep. If I get to bowl one more game, it'd be against him. Yeah, he was the guy that started it for me. He was the guy I saw on TV. He was the one I wanted to bowl like. You know, that was the guy. That was the guy. So, it would be fun to bowl with him on that for sure.
Hey, who is your number one rival?
My number one rival?
Yep.
I would say early in career and stuff, it was kind of a 3-headed dragon. It was me, Barnes, and Pat Healy. It was kind of us 3 there after the amateur years, going through the rollers and stuff like that. We were the big 3 coming out. We were the big 3. We all joined tour in '98. I'll be honest with you, my stats any other year, but that year probably would have won Rookie of the Year hands down. But you make 45,000 your rookie year, and you got Barnes and Healy in the same group, and you're not going to win at that with that little bit amount. So, so that was probably my rivalries growing up. At least it's the ones I like, just because we were always with each other. Me, Barnes, Healy, Team USA's, international travels, mega bucks. We were always there. We were always there.
Okay. Hey, What ball companies were you with throughout your career, and which one gave you think the most success?
Well, early in my career, I was Columbia. I was Columbia 300. I mean, I was diehard Columbia 300. I used a Power Torque and a Piranha for that first show at the AC Delco, and then I was with them for about a year and a half solid. Negotiations didn't work out well, and at that time, Storm was just kind of coming up and about, and Mr. Chrisman offered myself and Tim Mack a nice little package for appearances and bowling internationally and stuff, and bowled with them for 12 years. As far as what line of equipment treated me the best, if you're going to look at results, you got to go with Storm, of course. But I love the fact that when I got back with 900 Global, half the people that were there were the old guys from Columbia 300 when I first started. So with me transferring back to 900 Global, it was kind of a convenience thing, and it was nice because I was familiar with Dave Smart and all those guys that were over there. So when I transferred over to 900 Global, that felt comfortable to me because those were the original ones I really worked with back in the day.
Okay. Hey, I don't know. You know Burdell Hooks?
Burdell Hooks.
He says you were the first. He said you were the first one he saw loft the gutter tap on TV. How did you learn that technique?
Well, if the ball hooks too much, which way you got to go? Left. You got to go left. So keep going left until the ball stops hooking. And, you get to a point, I learned it from Megabucks. I'll be honest with you, from bowling the sweepers in Vegas, Showboat, and especially in the early 90s when resin came out, but the oil was still designed for urethane. The angles that you had to create got ridiculous. I mean, they really did. I mean, the first versions of resin, I was like, all of a sudden I'm bowling a 9 o'clock sweeper and I'm struggling because I won't move left. And then there's another one, 11 o'clock. I'm like, well, let's go more left and see if I can throw it over the gutter and see what happens. It can't hurt.
Right. And
then all of a sudden there's something. How did I get good at it? I'll be honest with you. My goal is simply throw it over the gutter. Don't land it in the gutter. You're good. That's it. Don't land it in the gutter and everything's fine. But I didn't really learn it until I started bowling the Megabucks, and you get forced into it because you're bowling for scores, so you go where you're told to.
Right.
Go where you're told. So, and that that just seemed the best way to go because eventually I could get left enough to where everybody else in the field stopped. They would not go any further. There were a few guys that could still do it, like Ward Mockabee and a couple other guys that I bowled with, but for the whole part, all of a sudden, so once those guys stopped, well, I mean, basically they're just making a lead shot from sixth arrow because they're just taking oil right off the edge there, and anything left of it will still push. So,
right,
that's the so it turned into be a really viable line for me to learn how to bowl during my career.
Okay, what was the fastest you've thrown at a fair, and what was the purpose of you throwing the ball so fast at a fair?
The fastest I can throw one is 34 miles an hour. Of course, I was 21 back when I did that, so I'm not 46. But what do you call it? My normal spare shot was 26 and a half, and I'll be honest with you, I wasn't trying to throw it hard.
Dude, 26 miles per hour, bro, and you're not trying to throw it hard?
I'm telling you, I was not trying to throw it hard. I was not trying to. I mean, if I went any slower, it felt like I was backing off and decelerating. I mean, it's kind of like the amount of rotation I got. I don't know how the hell it happens. It just does it.
That's crazy.
The amount I just don't get.
Hey, what's the difference? What's the key difference that separates pro bowlers from amateur bowlers?
Information, processing information. When pro bowlers, amateur bowlers, when we're lined up and we're striking, we're all pretty equal. It's easy to strike when we're all lined up. The problem is that when we don't get lined up anymore, where do we go? What do we do? The pros, they can see something, watch the ball, and go, okay, it's time to go. Now, most people amateurs will watch the result of what the ball does in the pins and go, okay, I gotta move.
Right.
Or they might not know that the ball did something different before their view, and now it's confusing them up because maybe what they saw is something totally different than what it's supposed to be. Pro bowlers, for the most part, can see the ball before the ball gets to the dots. That was one of the things I absolutely had to learn when I went out on tour. I couldn't pick up the ball until a foot past the arrows when I went out on tour. Now I can pick up the ball 2-3 feet off my hand. So now if I can see the ball off my hand, I can see the spin off my hand, I can see the projection, the roll, I can also see the shape and the spin. And if I start seeing some variances that go on, I can go, okay, well, wait, was that me? Was that the lane? But now my information is better. So therefore, when I make an adjustment, it's a better, more quality adjustment versus an amateur who only sees results and is not sure what the hell happened prior to it. That's the big difference. It's just the amount of information that we see versus everybody else.
Okay. You throwing two hands now, and you're coaching. Do you encourage the youth to throw with two hands as well?
I encourage them to bowl the way that makes it fun. Otherwise, from that's it. So if you want to go two-handed, that's fine. The cool thing is I know a lot more about two-handed bowling than I did beforehand, so I feel like I can coach it much better than what I was doing beforehand. I still know how to throw it one-handed, so it's just a preference. I've got a kid, Sam, that's 9 years old. He's averaging about 170, and he's two-handing sometimes, one-handing some other. He just does whatever he wants, but he's having fun with it. And it just so happens he's pretty darn good too. So, the trick is let the kids have fun. They'll get old enough and hit an age where they'll finally sit there and go, yeah, I want to learn it, or no, I'm just going to keep having fun with it. And either way, it's fine. I mean, I had a blast with it, but at some point I sat there and went, okay, I'm pretty good at this, and I had to start learning what was going on. So, it just takes its boat. But I've always had fun with the game, and that was the big thing. Especially, I thank my mom and dad tremendously for that because they weren't up my ass growing up. They let me do my thing. If I threw a temper or a fit, oh yeah, I got told not to do that. I pretty much stopped. But
yeah.
But it's got to be fun first before anything else. It's got to be fun. If it's not fun, who cares?
How was it? How was it bowling the skills challenge? And do you still have any trick shots in the arsenal?
Oh, the skills challenge. Yeah, that was the Tony. Rest in peace, Tony. But Tony Reyes was the luckiest SOB on that skills challenge show against me. He made it was so lucky how he beat me on that. But not the trick shots. Yeah, I found it hard enough to just bowl normal. So most of my trick shots, I just kind of plagiarize somebody else and just pray it works. My trick shot was just throwing it over the left gutter and actually striking with it once in a while. That seemed to be my best trick shot. Otherwise, I don't got any.
Huh. Hey, Robert Jameson said, he said, what's up, brother? Hate to ask a tough question, but what was your hardest moment after you lost Tony Reyes?
It was just knowing he wasn't around. I bowled with Tony since we were 14. And, so it was, we grew up, bowled together, traveled together, went to college. He went to San Jose State. I was at San Diego. We traveled on tour. We crashed at Jimmy Johnson's house and their family out in Columbus every time we went through tour stop. I was with Tony all the time. And, to have him gone, it's tough. It's still tough to this day a little bit. But, I miss him. We all do. But, I tell you what, he made me laugh when, he made me laugh a lot when we were out there. So, so that, the hard part is just knowing that I, can't talk to him. That's the hardest part.
There you go. Hey, since bowling with two hands, how many tournaments have you won?
So, repeat that one more time again.
Since you started bowling with two hands, how many tournaments have you won?
I've won every tournament that I bowled by myself. I'm not close. I haven't cashed in anything yet. I've been close on it just because I can make a spare, but I can't repeat shots to save my ass. So no, I have not won any tournaments yet. So that's why until I can win a 6-gamer out here in the area, I don't know how much further my travels will be until I get that figured out. So, but no, nothing yet. It's just a learning process. Haven't got it figured out yet. That's all.
Okay. Well, look, man. Anything else you would like to tell our viewers, man? We had a lot of questions from
The ones that haven't seen me for a while, yes, I'm alive and kicking. I didn't fall off the face of the earth. I'm just out here on the West Coast in Ventura. Life's good. Life's good. Normalcy, family, dogs. Can't complain. And I get to bowl a little bit still right here and there. So, and then get to talk with fine people like you.
Hey, man, just know, if anybody's in the LA area or just in Cali, man, and you want to go down and meet Rob or bowl with Rob, he's at Buena Lane.
Yeah, Buena Lane's in Ventura, California. Number's 805. Oh, God, what is the number? 677-7770. Been a while since I've been there, so forgot the number.
Hey, Zeke Bass said, what up, Big Rob?
Zeke, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Hey, Zeke, if you missed the bow tie, there's the bow tie for Brandon, just so you know.
Hey, Zeke is going to come on the show, too. I got Zeke scheduled.
Yeah, Zeke's always been good, man. I've liked him since day one. He's always been a blast. I usually see him in San Francisco for Tony's tournament. I haven't been up there the last couple of years, but that's usually we meet up a little bit and hang out. And it's always good to see Zeke. He's one of the better guys out there. Zeke
is awesome, man. I asked Zeke when we were bowling a tournament in Vegas. I said, Zeke, why you didn't help me out? His exact words was, you didn't come over and ask me. I figured you knew.
That's pretty true. I mean, I remember a couple times. Before we go, one time I got help from a pro. First year I'm bowling the U.S. Open, and I'm amateur still. I think it was 93 or something. Well, I ended up I'm the only amateur to make the top 50. I'm the only one to make the cashers round. Every 49 pros and me. Go figure at that time. So I ended up crossing in the cashers round. I'm bowling with Dave Ferraro and David Ozio, both Hall of Famers, great bowlers in their own right for sure.
Right.
So I'm bowling with these guys, and I mean, I might as well just be taking up space. I'm buck 80, buck 90, 2-0, 170, 2-0, I'm taking up space. So the start of game 8 comes around, and remember, I'm like 19 at the time. I'm in Michigan at Bowl 1 Lanes, I believe it was, at Bowl 1 in Troy, Michigan. And the last game, we get ready to start, and I'm getting ready on the approach, and get a tap on my back, and it's Ozio. And he goes, son, I've been watching you all day, and you are just driving me batshit with the way you're playing the lanes. He goes, what are you trying to do? So, what do you mean what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to play where you guys are playing. What do you mean what am I trying to do? He goes, no, what are you trying to do? I go, well, I'm trying to throw it out to the 2-3, but I'm trying to stay in the oil line. I don't want to hit the dry. He goes, son, you've been playing them all wrong. He goes, you're going to learn real quick on tour. You play the friction, you don't play the oil. Okay, so I started trying to play the friction more, try to, play that. Yeah, I shoot 269. I haven't sniffed over 201 all day. He just tells me that I shoot 269.
Right.
That was the one thing I remembered from that was you're going to learn to play friction. You will not play oil, and that's how you're going to bowl. And ever since that day, that's how I've learned to bowl, or at least try to view bowling. So, yeah, Dave Ozio, I don't know if he's watching or not, but yeah, that I remember that. And the $180 spades game it cost me on the way from Vegas to Dallas too. That hurt also one day. So
yeah, well, that's so funny how you remember that. And I remember you asking me, hey, what is your purpose for throwing the ball? And I told you, to strike. Duh. And you looked at me and was like, no.
No. Pete Weber told me, he goes, listen, he goes, I strike. That's what Weber says. Pete Weber goes, I strike. He goes, everything else is what I got to do so I can strike. But I always strike, so I strike. And, so that's kind of the mentality. It's like, we already know you're doing it. What's the steps? What's the process? How are you getting there? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Be a little bit more, I don't want to say quality oriented, but, this is where the information comes in. And that's what, we will talk about when I can get you up here.
Hey, Rob, I'm coming. I promise you I am. Because ever since you told me that up there at Simi, and just that little bit helped me. And I was like, dude, all he had to say was this. This is some bull crap, but I'm coming.
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a blast. Definitely come up, spend the day, bowl a little bit, go get some food down at the harbor, come back, bowl again, make a day out.
Just make sure, hey, I don't eat seafood, so give me a good burger and some IPAs.
You eat Mexican food?
I do.
All right, the bowling center's got some kick-ass Mexican food in there. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
Rob, today, I appreciate everything you do for 900 Global. Me being a newcomer, dude, you're a great ambassador for us, man, and you rep the brand well. And, dude, I'm glad to have you on my side as a friend and close family now. You family. So, Rob,
man.
And looking at all these comments, everybody loves you, dude. Everyone loves you.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Like I said, I mean, I've been blessed that everywhere I went across the nation, across the world, I met some great people. Go Hagen and, Sibo and Mason, Craig Elliott, one of our family, 900 Global family guys. You meet some good people, and bowling's one of those things where, people look down on it, but I tell you what, I got a lot more friends and acquaintances doing this, and I'm pretty sure I would have done anything else. So, I mean, you'll never hear me complain about it. It's always been good.
Oh, yeah. So, Rob, hey, I appreciate you, bro. I love you, man. And hopefully, like I said, as soon as it's over and we feel safe, I'll be up there.
Oh, yeah. When we're all safe and ready to roll, I have a feeling this would be the best time to just start practicing and revamping.
Oh, yeah.
Muscle memory's kind of shot, so that's good. So you can tweak it and rebuild it a little better. So, but yeah, the idea is just, again, information, have fun,
I'm sure this live. Maybe you can help me turn the ball with the thumb.
With the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay, with the thumb. With the thumb.
With the thumb, but I'm not. I don't. That's not 100% though.
No,
not 100%.
Yeah, well, I'll make do with what I get handed. Okay, so we'll go. We'll go with that. So, Brandon, always a pleasure. Thanks. Good job on all this too. It's I don't pop on all the time, but when I get a chance, it's always good. So good stuff, and keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate it. Hey, I will come up there to the house and get some avocados too. So tell them.
Next time up, I'll pick some avocados off that bad boy. It's that thing dumps a bunch.
Yeah,
it's a bunch. So, all right, man, be good. Everybody, thanks. Hope everybody enjoyed. It was fun.
There you go, Rob. Hey, take care of the fam, man. Give everybody a love, and I'll holler at you later, brother.
Sounds good. All right, be good, guys. Later.
Man, guys, that was my boy. Yeah, Mason, you can help me out. You turn the ball a lot with the thumb, dude. I've been in and out. Like, do I want to do it? Do I not? I don't know. So I'm just saying. But man, guys, I appreciate all y'all questions, man. Rob is absolutely amazing. Team Global all the way to the heart, baby. I love you guys. Love everything that they do for us. And man, guys, be safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Don't just run out there when they open stuff up, man. Still take the steps. Take the proper steps, man. And like I said, thank you all for tuning in, man. It was a great show, great information, and he shared her story. Wanda Parker, you are on the hot seat tomorrow. Be ready, because I'm about to ask people, DP, George, Omar, Kenny. I'm about to ask Dwan. I'm about to ask everybody about Wanda Parker. We about to get some information, so just be ready. But hey, I love you guys, man. Be safe. Take care of the family and all. You know what I'm saying? So, Bowtie out of here, man. Peace.